Thank you for taking the time to watch the video for the installation of the Intuitive in-wall firearm mount. We'll start by placing the pins into the gun lock in the different positions to make sure the trigger cannot be depressed. Next, we'll remove the rubber top from the gun lock to expose the inner portion. Place the gun lock with the gun into the box and position it so that way it is overlapping two of the holes in the back of the breadboard. At that point, take two of the short 1/2-inch Phillips head screws and place them through the holes in the back of the breadboard. Next, place the washer with the lock nut on the back side while holding the screws from the front. Using the socket and the Phillips head screwdriver, tighten down both screws so they are securely snugged. Take the top rubber cover and place it back over the metal portion of the lock. Then take your handgun and place it on top of the lock, making sure that everything lines up properly. Next, aligning the C on the lock with the top of the lock, simply press the lock into place. Your gun should now be firmly located into the enclosure. Using a stud locator, determine where the studs are on your wall and mark them on a blue piece of tape. Using the supplied cutout template and your level, find a position between the two studs. Use a Sharpie or other pen to draw around the cutout template. Use the 1/2-inch drill bit or larger to drill the 4 corners. Cut the drywall starting at one of the 4 corners and working your way around. Next, remove the gun trigger lock and set it and the gun aside. Then, figuring out which hole you'd like the cable to go through, look at the different punch outs. Take your screwdriver and with 1 swift or 2 swift hits, simply strike the punch out to knock it out of place. Next, we'll need to make a notch where the cable passes through. Through the punch out that you removed earlier, make 2 dots on the wall and draw a line about a 1/4 inch below the current cutout. This will allow the cable to easily pass as you slide the enclosure into the wall. Cut this portion away. Using a 3/16" drill bit, drill a hole in one of the side studs, making sure that this will not interfere with where you're locating the enclosure. Next, with the lag bolt and washer, place it through the eye of the cable and securely mount it to the side stud. Pull the cable through the hole in the enclosure and then slide the enclosure into the hole. Snug it up against the wall surface. You can mount the enclosure to a stud using a screw through the side, or you could slide one of our plastic dog ears from the inside, then using one of the 5mm screws, thread it into place. Then use your drill bit and your drill to tighten it down snugly against the wall. Be sure not to over tighten so you will not crack the drywall surface. At this point, the box is securely mounted to the wall surface. Slide the cable through the rubber grommet with the large portion of the grommet toward the inside of the box. Work the grommet all the way around to get it in place. Then, take the cable, put the excess down into the wall cavity, and slide it over the pin on the gun lock. Place the firearm onto the bottom half of the trigger lock. Then place the top half of the trigger lock over to lock it into place. Simply press down to secure the firearm. Please refer to the online PDF installation manual as to how to properly rekey the lock for your own custom code. Remember, never place a loaded firearm into the enclosure. Thank you for purchasing the Intuitive in-wall firearm mount.